He nodded, his expression softening slightly. Take care of yourself, Karen. It was the first time he'd used her name since the trial. After that visit, something shifted. We didn't suddenly forgive and forget everything, but there was a tentative bridge being built. Dad started occasionally responding to her letters. Brief notes, nothing emotional, but responses nonetheless. I sent her a copy of my school photo and a short update about debate team. Small steps. When my mom was released 6 months early for good behavior, we didn't go pick her up. That would have been too much, too soon. But Dad did help her find an apartment on the other side of town and a job at his friend Kenneth's accounting firm. Kenneth knew the whole story, but believed in second chances. The first time we saw her as a free woman was at a neutral location, a coffee shop downtown. She arrived early, already sitting with her tea when we walked in. She'd gained back some of the weight she'd lost in prison, and her hair was styled simply but neatly. She looked normal, not the glamorous, attention-seeking woman I remembered, nor the hollow-eyed inmate we'd visited, just a middle-aged woman waiting in a coffee shop. Hi, she said, standing up as we approached. She didn't try to hug us, just gestured to the chairs across from her. We talked for about an hour. She told us about her job, her ongoing therapy, the small apartment she was making her own. Dad mentioned his promotion at work. I talked about my college applications. It was awkward at times, but not hostile. As we were getting ready to leave, she handed Dad a small box. What's this? He asked, looking suspicious. Open it, she said. Inside was his wedding ring, the one he'd taken off the day she was arrested and never put back on. I'm not asking you to wear it again, she said quickly. I just thought you should have it back. It's yours. Dad stared at the ring for a long moment before pocketing it. Thank you. That night, I found him sitting at the kitchen table, the ring in front of him. He wasn't wearing it, just looking at it thoughtfully. You thinking about Mom? I asked, sitting across from him. He nodded, trying to figure out how I feel. It's complicated. You don't have to decide anything right now, I pointed out. Or ever, really. He smiled slightly. When did you get so wise? I shrugged. Learned from the best. Over the next few months, we settled into a new kind of normal. Mom stayed in her own apartment, respecting our space. She'd come over for dinner once every couple of weeks. Dad and Patricia were still dating, and Mom seemed genuinely happy for them. There were awkward moments, sure, but fewer as time went on. One evening, about 2 years after everything had happened, we were all at Samuel and Samantha's for a barbecue. Dad and Samuel were manning the grill, Patricia and Samantha were setting up the picnic table, and Emma was showing me her college acceptance letters. My mom was there too, helping with the salads. She'd been invited by Samuel himself, which had surprised everyone, but he believed in forgiveness more than most. I watched as my mom handed Samuel a bowl of potato salad, their interaction completely normal and friendly. No tension, no awkwardness, just two people at a barbecue. It hit me then that we'd actually made it through to the other side of all that chaos. Not unscathed, not unchanged, but intact in the ways that mattered. Later that night, as Dad and I were driving home, I asked him something that had been on my mind. Do you ever regret standing up to Mom that Thanksgiving? Like, if you'd known what would happen after? He thought about it for a moment, his eyes on the road. No, he finally said. It was messy and painful, but necessary. Sometimes you have to break something completely before you can rebuild it the right way. I nodded, watching the streetlights flash by. I'm glad you did it. He reached over and squeezed my shoulder. Me too, son. Me too.